మీ ఛాయ్ మా సాయ్ కలిస్తే భలే హాయ్. Welcome everyone. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram. Welcome to another episode of Chai with Sai. This series we are going to do Mahabharatham Relevance in modern day life. We'll talk about work and life.
I know we all kind of, while we are growing up, read Amar Chitrakarta comics in Mahabharata, those characters, and also we watched the B.R. Chopra's Mahabharata serial, and we also heard few kind of stories here and there. But were you able to connect the dots, and did anybody read Mahabharata, the whole page by page, the whole original version? What do you think?
I'm not sure, but when I came across the word Mahabharatam, means it has two parts. Mahatvam, it has greatness. Bharavatvam, it's also even by volume, it is the greatest compilation that ever existed on this earth, or probably Nabhuto Nabhavishyati, never before, ever after, such a magnificent creation.
I know it sounds interesting when you say that, and we also heard that Mahabharata is the greatest epic, and besides Ramayana. But by taking the word with the face value, or should we just explore, like to know more about it, to go get the original resource, read it? Like now we do, like whether it's in our education or any certification, we try to go to the original resource, try to read, understand, and then try to interpret and see how we can implement it. Do you think Mahabharata is something we can do it, right?
Exactly. This is the question that we both ran into almost a year ago. Then we said that we want to go through our self experience.
Yeah.
And then what we did, we went to the source, we learned a little bit of Sanskritam, even though we have that foundation from schooling. We also looked at the true translation without interpretation, without changing in Tamil as well as in Telugu.
Yeah.
And last 1 year, Mahabharatam consists of 18 parvas, and the first 5 parvas are called Adi Panchakam, and the second 6 are called Yuddha Shatkam. We finished Adi Panchakam and Yuddha Shatkam. We started the Shanti Saptakam, last 7. By volume, we have these 7 books. We completed 5, and we are looking forward to complete the remaining 7 parvas, but 2 books in the next 3 months.
Yeah, and we are so excited by learning it. We've been amazed, excited, thrilled. I am out of words to explain how we experienced it, and that's why we want to share with rest of you, with you all, even though we are almost on the way of completion it. So in that way, because to be honest, we learned a lot when we did, right? We did see that how we need to communicate. It's an excellent book about communication. To be honest, the very first episode, the very first chapter deals with how great the Mahabharata is. And we thought when we read that this is too much. They're just bragging about the book beginning itself. But now when we are all the way here, we do agree. And we do agree that it's a great book for communication, great book for servant leadership, great book for information security, crisis management, escalation management, operations, SWOT analysis, like BCP, DRP, physical health, mental health, mergers and acquisition. These are some 10 of the things which, just comes to my mind as we just think through. And there are more of those things where we feel that there are use cases where the Mahabharatam provides that. And this is our small effort to bring those use cases, not necessarily telling the Mahabharata in its whole length, but our effort to give you the use cases. So hopefully you'll be excited and you'll start exploring and reading by yourself the book from the original resource, because that's the best way we thought and we felt that to understand Mahabharata, or for that matter any subject. And I think you also agree with us, right?
Absolutely. I think Raji summarized it very well, right? When we heard about Mahabharatam, poets call it the greatest poetry. The economists call it the greatest economics book. The management gurus call this the management book, and the list goes on.
Yeah.
And she kind of summarized it, right from communication, servant leadership, information security, crisis management, escalations management, operations, SWOT analysis, BCP, DRP, physical health, mental health, mergers and acquisitions. We used to think that, you know what, this is too hyped. But from our personal experience, we really say that yes, it has it all. It has it all for who does it have? No, we are wife and husband. We disagree on so many things, but we seem to agree on one thing. Whom do you think this book is relevant for? Is it too young for elementary school kid?
No, to be honest, actually, it's not too heavy to be introduced at the elementary level. I mean, I feel it's good for all ages, all walks of life, personal development, professional development. And I can give an example, like for example, data management is a subject which here they start from kindergarten just to understand how to group the numbers,
Yeah, if
and
I
all
can
the way it
interject.
goes to the
Yeah, we have
university,
seen
right?
both our kids.
Yeah.
So, you
So-
think that it is like Mahabharata?
So Mahabharata can be introduced like that. And from
Wow.
the elementary level, I feel so that it can be introduced for kids at kindergarten level, and it can be gradually added on. And also, it can be, even if it's not been introduced in the school system, it's totally okay. I mean, it's a book which you can pick it up and read, but I know it is big. I just wanted to be honest, and you need to have the discipline to read it. And how we went through is, we can share that. We wanted to explore and learn instead of getting it from third resource or second resource. We thought, okay, let's read it. And so we started with half an hour every day reading it, and we kept it consistent, and like every day we made it as a ritual to read it. So we would suggest that really worked for us. So whether your wife and husband, your friends, or your school friends, or whoever it, just have that small reading book club type of a thing where it's your time to read Mahabharata, whether it's half an hour, 1 hour, whichever time you can have. And I feel that's a great time spent well, because it gives you lots of answers. Actually, it gives you a rule, a guidebook. I mean, I can keep on go and go, but it is never ending for that.
No, I
so
know,
and
but-
it's and as Sai makes fun of it, like I think if your wife and husband, if you disagree on various things, when we read about Mahabharata, we agreed on lots of those things. Like
So
and
many.
it is very true depiction which applies to human beings not only 5,000 years back, but now too. Because human beings are human beings. Let's answer
It is
that.
true.
Whether it's 5,000 years back, now, or even after 5,000 years, whether we have that, we go through that emotional, mental, physical, those stresses, and I feel it applies even now. And that's the amazing part. The way it is written, the topics it has touched, so complex, like in real life. So don't be afraid or scared to touch or read Mahabharata. I know it seems to be complex, it's by the big volume of it, but that's life, right?
No, but let me ask you. When we started it, like you said that we started ritualistically, we said that we are going to dedicate this half an hour. We'll keep going at it. But what kept you personally going? Like, did you have to drag yourself?
No,
or
actually, that's a good point you mentioned. Like, though it is a big, so much volume, so many volumes are there, it was always interesting. That is one more thing also they mentioned when they, in the first chapter when I mentioned, right? They said it's written in such a way that it makes the reader, like the cliffhanger thing which we say here, it always has that interest. which, so as a result, you don't get bored, or you don't feel as if, oh, I need to read the book today, like I need to finish, I need to complete, otherwise you will not have that kind of a burden on yours. It will be actually on the reverse. It's more exciting, and it you look forward for that. And to be honest, it also creates some kind of a peace, like, I'm not sure for you, but
Yeah.
I felt it created it the thing is, it gave an opportunity to look into the lives of different people, because it literally gives you the use cases. It also reflects how that person mentally thinks, how that person behaved,
Yeah.
and it also gives you the third person view too, right?
Yeah,
So
it gives. But I wanted to ask you one more question, right? Like, you and I both did MBAs. We never kind of went through this. You are using all that MBA jargon, right? Like use cases, different points of view, SWOT analysis. Would it have been a better ROI if we had actually taken Mahabharata instead of MBA? I'm just,
yeah,
the titles and the schools are part of your resume. What you just covered, I felt like it, if not completely replace an MBA, would it be a great compliment?
oh, certainly, excellent. I mean, it will be an excellent resource for actually organizational design, to be honest. When I mean, talking about MBA,
We were just talking about Dharmaraja today.
Dharmaraja's, how he has his portfolio design and who he has appointed each different person.
Persons.
And communication, I mean, that's an excellent resource of communication, how you can diffuse the situation, whether it is
Conflict.
distress situation or conflict situation, how to convey a bad news, how to convey a news to your enemy, how to convey a news for your superiors, like
How they excite, see both the
Yes.
side of the leaders, right? Duryodhana and Dharmaraja, both were really motivating their team. Say, hey, come on, this is the time, and they were able to
Yes.
motivate this.
Yeah.
See, one other question that I just wanted to ask you, like as we were going on, because we can go on for a long time. Nowadays, these days, they say that irrespective of whether you're a biology student, you're a data science student, more so in data science world, storytelling,
Yes,
right?
that's right.
Like just I'm so excited about that part. Do you think that one thing that people can pick up is an amazing storytelling, taking the facts, collecting the data, and presenting it in a way that it appeals to different levels of communication? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the communication, right? The storytelling. And I know now, because of this agile and all the servant leadership, humble leaderships, those are the buzzwords you'll be hearing it. And also the T-shaped personalities. I mean, you can see those examples everywhere in there.
And upskilling. See,
Yes.
Arjuna, I was impressed about Arjuna that he focused on upskilling, because when you are going for mergers and expansion, you know what? Why don't we take a pause? Hey, this is what you are going to really look forward to. We will keep chatting like this. We are open to taking your questions. We'll even have a live chat sometime. Over the next 10 episodes at least, we'll laid out different things, right, from communication to mergers and acquisitions, right? We'll take each one of them, how, where it came up. We'll both weigh in our thoughts, because each time that we read, we went for long walks. We do 5K walks, and then we reflected on it. We really were so passionate. I was asking her what really brought you. Nothing brought us. We were looking forward every day. Okay, now this is Mahabharata sometime. This is just like a continuous learning, right?
Yeah, and as we will structure it for each episode, and we intently wanted to do it in English so that it can reach to broader audience, whether it's young or old, and different places, because we want to spread this one, and selfishly I should say, because we like it so much, we wanted to spread it, because it can create great goodness to the humanity, for individuals, for mental peace, or and it's I feel that it's a book that everyone must read. And as they say, the rating, right? 5 out of 5 rating type of a thing.
Yeah,
I
probably I'll
feel
give 6 out of 5. I just wanted to kind of pick on one thing, right? Like the reason that we are having this conversation in English, many of you know that I'm passionate about Telugu and Tamil, as this is closer to the native language, whether you have somewhat familiarity in Sanskritam ideal, if not Telugu, Tamil, any of the Indian native languages, if you can read, that experience is completely different. But having said that, we just don't want anybody to limit themselves from reading and exploring and making Mahabharatam part of their life just because you are not as comfortable. But if you're comfortable, we are happy to replay this whole conversation in Telugu, Tamil, or Hindi, but that might be for future. We do wanted to hear from you. What do you
yes.
say?
I just adding a note what Sai has mentioned. If you can read in your regional language, that would be awesome, because the linguistic, you will be enjoying the words. I mean, that's one more enjoyment you can.
But you open up and I will get carried away.
Yeah, so that's certainly the case. But then, I mean, better late than never, or better to read in English, or at least not reading, right? So
Correct, yeah.
you can take that, and once if you are good in any of your regional languages, you can always get that. So yeah, we are very excited to share this with you all, and hope you'll travel us along with us and provide your feedback and comment to help you to please help us to help you, and we all can together explore and also know about Mahabharata, read about Mahabharata, and learn about it and implement it in our day-to-day life, and we'll have a better society and a better community.
Yeah, this is making it part of our life. Looking forward to again sharing these thoughts and learning some what we learned these learnings with you.
And there's nothing religious about it, to be honest.
Absolutely,
actually, it is
there's
all
nothing
about
religious.
human development and human.
It is just human psyche, human development, the human history. This is about how our mind works and how interpersonal relationships are. If you break it down, this is universal brotherhood in action.
Yeah.
It is about camaraderie. It is about building bonds, relationship. Hey, we can go on. By now, I think you got the message, right? We have this excitement.
Yeah, and look forward to meet you next time. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.